So, my monologue comes from a play called An Ideal Husband, and the character that does the monologue, his name is Mabel Chiltern. And so, what's going on at the time of this monologue is that Mabel is speaking to Lady Chiltern, regarding her marriage prospects. And so Mabel only has eyes for Lord Goring, so she's kind of discussing Tommy and kind of expressing how distressed she is that Tommy's been trying to propose to her over and over again. So this illuminates Mabel's innermost thoughts, because you get to, in a way that dialogue simply can't, is that you get a chance to look at her and at an extended point. So you get a chance to see what her thoughts are about marriage, what her thoughts are about proposals, and in simple dialogue you may not always catch how she feels about those things. So here you can see that she cares about proposals that are elaborate. She cares about proposals that catch a lot of attention. And that definitely does say a lot about her personality and who she is. So I selected this text honestly because I thought it was an interesting monologue. I didn't necessarily know this play. I don't know this character, but I thought it would be interesting to do this piece because it's very different from how I look at proposals and how I look at prospects, or would have looked at prospects than she does. So it was kind of like the opportunity to kind of get out of my own character into another character. And so what the subject matter is just generally just talking about marriage, and it really reveals kind of the frivolousness and shallowness of this character, and how we can look at marriages and people in very shallow ways. So as I memorized it, I think some of the words that stood out to me was kind of like the line where she says they always want one to be perfectly dumb. At the bare minimum is one longing to be absolutely deaf. It definitely shows her kind of callousness, and her, and how she doesn't really appreciate things that don't really focus on her. And so that was definitely interesting. And I think I definitely understand this character very well, because it's just really funny that this character has Tommy kind of sticking around so long, that he's proposing to her several times and she keeps rejecting him, and yet still keeps him around. And so that speaks to definitely that she likes the attention. She likes the fact that he keeps trying to propose to her, and she keeps him around just to kind of string him along, and just to have someone that admires her but really has no intention of marrying him, and just keeps him around like a fish on a hook for her to have at her own leisure. And so definitely seems like someone who is very shallow, and doesn't really understand the sanctity of marriage, and doesn't really have a lot of depth in her relationships around her.